Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TAT podcast, aka the Talk About Thomas podcast. And today, I'm here with Green Tank, my co-host, Green Tank Engine Productions,
Hello.
aka Boko, my dear engine. Uh, um, this is episode 1, and this is just an experiment.
Title?
We're using StreamYard for the first one just because it's an experiment, and if it doesn't go well, then we're gonna go to OBS because it works better. But this is
It's
just an experiment.
it's a pilot episode, so anything could happen.
Anything can happen. Anything
The name of this episode is Was Ferdinand a Bad Character?
actually is, but whatever. Um, uh, Ferdinand. Okay, Ferdinand is a C class. I think it's a C class. He's a Shay locomotive, a Climax Class C gear logging locomotive, built in the 1900s. So he's old, like over 100 years old, which is kind of impressive. What do you think?
He's pretty interesting, especially in his design. He always
I
fascinated
I
me.
always liked his design. Like when I was smaller, I kind of found it odd, but as I've grown older, I've kind of learned to appreciate that design for like
He
being
also
different.
he also has a very interesting Trackmaster model.
Yes,
To put
he
his
does.
battery in, you have to put his battery in his boiler, and there's like a terminal you have to hit, and if you don't hit it, then he's not gonna work. So I always had trouble getting him to run when I had him.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, that's kind of off topic.
Yeah, that's off topic. We need his personality. Well, we don't. He doesn't really have a personality. He's more like
That's right.
that's right. That's it.
Fun fact, did you know he said that phrase 17 times in Misty Island Rescue alone?
Oh gosh, that's awful. I feel air on my funnel. Okay. Anyway, um, there were these other characters he was seen with named Bash and Dash, who we hate with a passion.
And a lot of the other fandom does as well.
But for some reason, they say that Ferdinand's worse than Bash and Dash.
Which we disagree.
We very disagree on that, and
We have a couple of
we're about to explain why.
we have some commentary about him and also some theories and thoughts about him that we would like to share.
Yes, and how we would make the some appearances that he was in and or movies, rewrite them to make him better, and actually make him a good Thomas character. So, first, his first appearance was in Misty Island Rescue, which is notorious for being the worst movie in all the
Which
Thomas
it
movies.
is. A lot of the
It
aspects
is.
are good.
There's too much rhyming. Too much rhyming.
It gets annoying. And this
Yeah.
was the first appearance of him as well as Bash and Dash.
Yes. Like, it's a bad movie when they're the best characters in the movie.
Because Thomas is annoying.
He rhymes too much, okay? Like,
And he does
what
stupid.
is he,
Literally,
William
he's
Shakespeare?
blatantly racist in it at the beginning. He says, "No, thank you, Diesel. You can't," or whatever he says.
You
He says
can't do
something
it.
very racist to Diesel.
I'm taking some stuff from Unlucky Tug's thing, but yes, it should have been Diesel instead of Whiff. Like, why was Whiff there? Like, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense that they take garbage down there since it's not being used, but like,
Not
really?
gonna lie, I kind of like Whiff's like wiser approach in with Misty Island Rescue
They tried taking him more seriously, but it just turned out
because
to be stupid.
in season 11 he was kind of like a nerd. Is basically what I
He,
described. I
he
also
looked like the nerd. He looked like the nerd emoji. It's not because of the glasses. It's just the
his
face in
face
general.
has that. Imagine Billy's face and Whiff's glasses together.
Like, wait. Oh my gosh. Wait. The face
Anyway, we're
with
getting
face,
sidetracked.
but
We
with
need to
buck
talk about
teeth.
Ferdinand.
With face, but with buck teeth. Um, Okay, so his first appearance was in Misty Island Rescue. He said that's right about a million times, I guess. I don't know.
17.
That's the only thing he says. Like, that's right isn't like it gets annoying sometimes, but it's at least it's not like finishing their sentences in Bash and Dash do. That's
And
annoying.
honestly, that's right. Isn't quite as annoying as Billy saying, "Stop telling me what to do," like 5 times in an episode.
Yes.
Same
That
with what he means
that
is,
just means he's agreeing on something.
yeah, but Billy was just being, I don't know what
He's
word to use, and if I use that word that I was thinking of, then we couldn't upload.
monetization. Uh Stupid.
Yeah, he was being annoying, very annoying.
He's being a
And
dick.
yeah, Ferdinand's that's right could be annoying at times.
But there are also parts where it actually makes sense and it turns out being funny. Uh in fact, I think he was the funniest character and most like up there character out of them all because he like he's different than Bash and Dash. He's more like,
Especially in design.
especially in design, like he's an actual basis. So,
And that's what makes him stand out from the logging locos.
and not only that, but he has a different color compared to Bash and Dash.
Because Bash and Dash are like reverse versions of each other in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah,
color.
yeah. Other appearances he made. Uh, we're gonna talk about his first major appearance. So
What was wait?
the first episode he made a major appearances is Thomas's Crazy Day, where basically Bash, Dash, and Ferdinand go to Brendam Docks to help out Cranky or something. I don't know. I
I
didn't watch
must
the.
say that is one of the absolute most creative episode titles I've ever heard.
I know, it's so creative. Like, it's almost as creative as Ba.
Or having 2 episodes titled Fish in one show.
Oh, why are there?
Like what I saw usual bloke Luke's
Like,
video on season 8.
I'll be looking for the season 4 fish, and then it comes up with season 8.
I saw a usual bloke Luke's video on season 8, and he mentioned why didn't they just call it like Thomas and the Fish or something? They could have at least done that.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I kind of prefer the season 8 fish over the
Okay,
classic
that's
version one.
not.
That's just
Anyway, we're getting very
yeah. We're
sidetracked.
getting
I'm gonna try
sidetracked.
to convert it.
We're getting sidetracked. Uh, his next major appearance was, I think, Mary Misty Island. Basically, well, actually, we're not done with Thomas's Crazy Day yet. Basically, he got picked up by Cranky, and his funny moment was, "This is not right."
That was a very funny
That was
moment.
very funny, and that was a bad laugh, fake laugh. I
Oh, okay.
was, we're getting sidetracked again.
And he did appear in the Brenner era you mentioned as well, correct?
We'll get to that later. We'll
Oh,
get
we're
to
still
that
not
later.
done. Because I thought Mary Misty Island was the last episode of season 16.
No, that's 14. We're talking about 14. We
Oh, we're still
His
in 4.
next major appearance was in Mary Misty Island, where he
I mixed
basically.
it.
I'm just
I
talking
mixed.
about episodes where he doesn't say "that's right" all the time.
It's really just the special that he says it a million times.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hang on.
just know the reason I am not talking as much is because Fatty Hattie or
I
Fun Stop
talk too much.
Productions as his YouTube, he's the one that has the information pulled up that he wrote down. Or the
Yeah,
wiki.
yeah. I have the wiki. I mean, I could share my screen, but like, I don't want
But then
to
that would
because
like
like
kind of take
because
up.
like I could like it would take up the screen and you wouldn't see our avatars and stuff because they're
We
so
might go
goofy.
back and forth between episodes where I'll have the wiki pulled up and he'll have it pulled up. We might do that.
Yeah, we might. Like maybe another episode, but right now, as of now, no. Uh, Mary Missy Island. Basically, he found a Christmas tree that was just a piece of wood. That was hilarious. I have to say, that was hilarious.
I think I remember that episode.
Can I just say, Like this is just a Misty Island question, but I feel bad for Birdie, Edward, and Rheneas. Rheneas is like the only
Birdie
American, and
literally almost freaking fell off the
he
freaking
almost.
Shake Bridge.
And Edward has like sense. He knows they're crazy. He knows they're crazy. Like that was
That
like the
scene of
most
him
down the
going
earth.
over. Yeah,
He
you
like
go.
Edward was like would have been like, okay, this is unrealistic. I'm done here. I want to go back to like Wellsworth or something.
That there isn't there a scene of Edward going over Shake Briggs
Yes, he
the
was like he
bridge,
got stuck on there and like logs were flown at him. I feel bad for that boy.
and
Like
he's
he was.
kind of like, uh, basically what his face was is, what has this show come to?
What has this show come to? Gordon and Ferdinand is his first appearance. Like he was the first engine to actually get like one of those, like because there's like also Toby and Bash and Emily and Dash. Like they were
It's
all like 'cause
interesting.
Gordon and Ferdinand. It actually kind of had an arc. Now that I think about it,
Well, it's
because
because the three logging locos had another major character alongside with them in the episode, and they all had the same sort of name, blank and blank, blank and blank. You know.
yeah, but they're also like put together because Gordon and Ferdinand in the beginning of the episode. I watched it last night for research purposes. Um,
I didn't do that.
I did. Basically, what happened was Sir Topham Hatt was proud of them, so he gave them each a reward to each a reward. And Ferdinand's reward was to work with Gordon, and Bash's reward was to work with Toby. Dash's was to work with Emily. I thought that was actually kind of cool that they actually stayed consistent with that arc. What about like that's kind of cool? I think.
So I was trying to think of similarities between Gordon and Ferdinand. Well, they're both blue tender engines.
I think the contrast between them is kind of cool because Gordon's this big grand engine who pulls the express, and Ferdinand's like that one like country bumpkin, like that southern folk, that southern
He's most
country
men over
folk.
the age of 60 in our area.
Like he seems like he'd come from where we come from.
Yeah.
Uh, like I think that's a nice contrast, honestly. Like the grand and the country, so, like because he's like very British and American, and Ferdinand's very American. So
Yeah.
like very American. And Ferdinand's very calm and isn't afraid to speak up to Gordon, which I guess shows that he isn't he isn't scared of Gordon. I think.
Oh, definitely not. I don't really recall that episode, but I do remember. Isn't like Gordon kind of like
He's rude to him.
confused or
He's
like,
rude to him. He's very rude to him and like thinks he isn't grand because of his how he acts and looks and stuff. Like, cause he's American, I think, which would actually make sense, you know, because Americans are not as smart and sophisticated. Now that I think about it, and
well,
I'm
yeah,
just
they're not all prim and proper like
yeah.
British people.
I kind of wish we
He
had
says
music up in
bottle of
here.
water. Gordon probably says boil of water.
Yeah, he says
Anyways,
proper and stuff. Um, Stop that bus was kind of funny though. It was funny. Birdie got stuck on the bridge. Anyway, I just wanted to say that. Um,
that was
and
pretty funny.
that's and now those were his major appearances. Those were his major appearances. Now we're gonna go to his final appearance, which is surprisingly in season 18. Like his last appearance, not like his actual last appearance was in season 24, The Great Little Railway Show, as a portrait cameo. But his last cameo was in Signal's Cross. And I think Boko went dead for a few minutes. Anyway. I'm just gonna like talk about that for a
All
bit.
right,
Well,
I'm bad. I'm very sorry about that. My dad had to call me.
okay, okay.
Anyway,
Anyway, yes. Anyway, I already told them that his last appearance was in a portrait cameo in Series 24, and his actual last appearance was in Series 18, Signals Cross, which that's actually very interesting, honestly, because it's in the Brenner era. Like
and
by
the
then,
other logging locos didn't make it to the Brenner era.
yeah, it's like they knew Bash and Dash were awful, and Ferdinand has potential to be actually okay. Like he's not going to be like a fan favorite by of mine for any means at all.
Well, yeah,
But like
obviously he doesn't have much to him really, but his design and his character could have had potential.
it could have had potential to be
Like
like
he seems
someone's
like a
favorite.
genuinely sweet engine.
Like and he
He-
Signals
And
crossed. He appeared in the shot where Toby was like about to like run a red light at at the traffic light or something.
I thought of an interesting thought. That was a very weird sentence. I thought of something interesting. That's a better way to say it. Um,
Okay.
just going off of Ferdinand's like appearance and like the way he kind of talks, it'd be interesting to see a dynamic with him and Salty.
I mean, yeah,
I feel like the
because
two could get
they
along in some way. They both have like that silly, like
I
kind
I
of
could
almost rednecky vibe, I
I
guess.
could see him having a good relationship with Philip now that I think about it as well, because they're both American locomotives, and I think Philip would look up to Ferdinand. It would be like Edward, like being
And
like Bill and Ben's role model.
Philip would tell Ferdinand, Vinny, all the stuff Vinny has done to him.
Yeah. While we're at it, that we talked about his final appearance, we should talk about why he's our favorite of the logging locos.
Well, we've already mentioned that he's a unique because
And
he's vastly different from the other two.
yes, he's less annoying than the other two, honestly.
Whoa, I just
Yes,
thought of something insane.
yes, he says that's right a lot, but Duck says I'm Great Western a lot.
It's very similar to Stuart, Falcon, and Duke.
It is. It really
I
is.
literally just thought of that. I was like, because Stuart and Falcon were very like mischievous and kind of stupid, to be honest. And Duke was like the wiser one that would always like look out for them.
Oh my gosh. You're trying to make me start liking Bash and Dash. Oh my gosh. This might end up like being a Bash Dash and Ferdinand episode.
Not really. But
We'll
that's just
mostly
a
talk
nice
about
thought
Ferdinand.
I had.
It's a nice thought. Yes, it's a very nice thought. Ferdinand, it seems like he'd be a great role model, but like also be like I could see him having a good relationship with Bill and Ben as well. Like maybe cause pranks with them. Like Bill and Ben could basically be Bash and Dash, and Ferdinand could be like the third wheel or something. Like because like he'll be the most serious one and know when not to play tricks, but every now and then he'll help them play a trick. Like he seems
Yeah.
like that kind of guy that like has a little bit of, wants to have a little bit of fun.
Could we agree on saying that Ferdinand might be one of the better or one of the best uh nitrogen era newbies?
Huh. What Stafford is
He's a
mostly a
nothing
shunt.
character.
He is a nothing character, but I do like how he's electric and that makes him different. Charlie is just Billy at this point. Honestly, I would have preferred Billy to Charlie. Okay,
Yeah,
because
fun
they could have
fun thing is Billy was actually gonna appear in Splish Splash Splosh, but he was ultimately replaced by Charlie.
because merchandising.
We've got to
They
make
did
more
that with a bunch of
trains
other
to
shows
circle.
like Bob the Builder, Chuggington, and I I think that's about it as far as I know. But whatever. Uh,
I'm trying to think of nitrogen characters that have potential to be a better one than Ferdinand.
Scruff.
Yes, but uh,
I like Scruff personally. I like his voice. It sounds like that woman from Monsters Inc. It sounds
Mike
like
Wazowski Ross.
man, yeah, Raj. Uh, I think that
His
sounds really
voice,
funny.
Scruff's voice used to scare me as a kid.
Oh, hello, Thomas. I mean, it didn't scare me as a kid. Okay, in fact, I went looking for that episode on YouTube, and it took me 2 days just to find it and all I had to do was look up season 14, and that was the first thing that came up, or like whatever season. I don't know what
Yeah, I
season.
think it was 14 is the one he was introduced in.
Uh, honestly, I think Ferdinand might actually be the best one. Yes, the other ones were brought into the Brenner era and tried to be like, you know.
And before you click off
Oh
the
wait,
podcast,
wait. We almost forgot the Soto Search and Rescue team.
I do not care for Belle or Flynn, to be honest.
Belle is weird. I would rather prefer her just being a normal tank engine.
Captain is kind of nothing, to be honest.
I
But
like the
also, he was introduced
okay.
in Misty Island Rescue, so no.
How I can see it is that there is a fire train, but like it's not in the way you're thinking. And Flynn is a fire truck. Is actually a fire truck. Like he gets places on the roads. Belle gets places near the railway tracks, and Captain gets stuff in the ocean. And Harold's there because yes.
Because, yes. I'm trying to remember what I was about to say.
Okay, so that we discussed why we like Ferdinand, and he our favorite nitrogen character, I
Should
guess.
we talk? Oh, yeah, I was going to say that this is all our opinion. We're not trying to change yours. We're just explaining why we like Ferdinand.
And we kind of hope that you'd like see like our points and
Something in him other than that's right.
to maybe think of him a little bit more than just the engine that goes that's right all the time. Okay.
So,
How
should
would
we
we
go into
fix him?
theories?
How would we fix him?
Oh, okay. We're going to do that first. Okay.
How would we fix him? So his character, what do you think his character should be? Because I could kind of see him being like Scarloey in the Railway series, where like he like is wise but likes to play tricks on people.
Yeah.
Because he did that to Sir Handel and Steamroller, where he started the conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could see him as a gossiper or something.
Yeah, he seems like that kind of character that could be like not exactly like Bill and Ben level mischievous, or Bash and Dash for that matter, mischievous.
But still mischievous nonetheless. Like he could probably like have a like we already said he could have a good relationship with Bill and Ben, but that's because he actually could. Like what if he worked in Henry's forest?
That is, I think this is taking us into the theories.
Yeah, because we don't really have much to talk about because we mostly already talked about
There's
how we
not
would
a
fix
lot of
him.
source material for Ferdinand because he was not a very a lot. There was not
Lo-
a lot of use for him in the series.
yeah, but like we should probably still like give him a character. Like we still kind of gave him a character, right?
That's what we're going into: is
It's
theories
unique.
and giving him a character.
It's unique to him and him alone.
A mischievous American character.
A mischievous American character. Yes,
That's
like
wise, but sometimes likes to play pranks, but or not pranks, but like tricks. I wouldn't say pranks because I don't think he like go out of his way to like prank an engine, but he probably trick someone. But he's like a sweet engine or a
yeah.
nice engine.
Now we I think I think we should rewrite Misty Island Rescue now at this point. like rewrite the worst movie ever, remove Bash and Dash entirely. We don't need them.
And say Ferdinand was the only engine that Thomas met on Misty Island.
Well, not necessarily Thomas, and I'll get to that in just a second. So, what if? So you know how there's a Farquhar quarry,
Yes.
and you know how Percy has to bring stone down from the to the harbor.
Yes.
Wait, is that like the old New Harbor or Brendam? Because it could be Brendam.
I think it'd be Brendam because the line from Brendam
I
to
mean, actually, it could be Mavis. It could be Mavis instead, because they allowed her to go farther from the quarry. Well, some engine. So, what if one of the engines went down from the quarry, came down from the quarry, but the trucks decided to play some tricks on them? So they push them down a hill. They get sent into an old line, which goes through the old Sudbury Harbor onto this cliffy area that goes alongside the ocean. And then they end, and when like the engine stops, they arrive at an old logging station, which is like supposed to be the
Fer-
rescue center grounds, I
where
guess.
Ferdinand is.
No, 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 no. It's an old logging station area. You know, like where they built Misty the rescue center. Basically, that area. And it's just like full of old dilapidated buildings and sidings and trucks full of logs and some empties. And then there's like an old tunnel that's kind of barricaded up. And there's also a broken bridge, a broken wooden bridge up on the cliff. So I guess that's kind of cool, I guess. Um okay, anyway, maybe Sir Topham Hatt, after he heard about it from said engine, uh decided to reopen that part of the line. And maybe that becomes like a new branch line or something. And once they're like finished with it, they decide to explore the tunnel as well. You there?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
I was kind of done talking. We're both sick right now.
Yeah.
My nose is stopped up.
Screw you, Kendra.
Yes. anyway,
So,
what do
talk
you
about the
think of that
theory.
idea?
I
Do you
mean,
have
that
any
is a good.
theories? You have any theories?
The only theory that I have, which I already mentioned, was like the similarities between the logging locos and the mid Sodor engines. It wasn't really a theory, but it was an idea.
I'll get to
Anyway,
that.
you
I'll
should
get
talk
to that in
about
a second.
Henry's forest theory.
I'm technically not done with how Ferdinand's found. Maybe
All
like
right, then
Edward,
keep going, keep going.
maybe Edward like clears out the tunnel all the way to Misty Island, and basically he finds Ferdinand in like that old where old Wheezy is, like where that area. And it's like old, dilapidated, has moss growing on him, rusty, and he's like kind and gentle, sort of, but like who goes there, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
So kind of like how Thomas found Hero.
sorta, yes, but it's Edward, and I think it makes more sense because it's near Edward's branch line. And basically, Edward decides to take this engine with him back to Sodor to show everybody. But as they're going over this old wooden bridge, Ferdinand tells him this bridge is safe, and it does that quite a lot. But like as they go over, it's like okay, maybe it's not as safe as it used to be. and it starts collapsing, and then it like crashes down behind them, and they have to they have to like get back, and they like got to go through the fog to get back to the tunnel, but Edward gets lost, so Ferdinand has to help him, and maybe the tunnel starts to flood or something, and they have to go through water. Like Edward had to go through a lot to get Ferdinand back. The Sodor.
Mm.
And maybe once they get out of the tunnel collapses behind them. Like Misty Island is not going to be canon. Like it's just going to be a one-time thing. Like it's not going to be brought back unless like something were to happen. But like, wait, I just thought of something.
What?
Okay, this is just a weird theory, but like from All Engines Go, there's like this rail speeder. You know that one rail speeder in like that siding on Misty Island?
Yeah.
What if Edward found Sandy there as well?
We are not going to talk about All Engines Go.
We'll put it's in a more realistic standpoint, okay? Because they actually have a basis. Okay, just let me continue. Okay. Yes, All Engines Go is awful, and I refuse to watch it. But
I
like,
have
that
not
doesn't mean the
watched it.
characters wouldn't work in the context. Because Sandy could actually be a great like inspection vehicle or something on Sodor. You know?
Yes.
Do you like the idea of Sandy being on Misty Island as well?
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a better aspect of her than being Carly's like child.
Oh my gosh, Carly's child.
Apparently trains can breed.
Oh no.
Who's the father?
Who's the father?
Frankie. What if
Cranky.
Frankie?
No, if it was Cranky, then Carly would have a crane. Anyway, let's stop talking about this. Let's stop. Let's stop. Okay. So, uh, Ferdinand, Ferdinand and Sandy like go back to Sodor, I guess. Let's just say that Edward saves both of them, and Sir Topham Hatt decides to restore them. So that gets to one of our last topics, which is what would they do now? What do you think they would do now?
For Ferdinand.
Ferdinand would go work at Henry's Forest, I guess, because it reminds him of his old
Because
home.
he worked on a logging logging island
It would actually make sense, and maybe if like maybe he would have a great relationship with Henry as well because of that.
that's another good aspect of him.
He has a lot of relationships with a bunch of engines. That sounds weird, but like it's kind of true. Like relations with other engines.
Mm.
So Henry, Bill, Ben, Salty, like those are all good characters that he could be paired up with. So he goes to work in Henry's Forest, and Sandy becomes like an inspection car, kind of like Winston. But like Winston's more of Sir Topham Hatt's private rail car instead of an inspection car. When you think about it,
It's not, yeah, because Sir Topham Hatt has his own car that still appeared after Winston was introduced.
I mean, Winston came after Ferdinand, so wouldn't that mean
2 years after.
wouldn't that mean Sandy would be the original?
If we're going off of our made up storyline, then yes.
Okay, so by the way, you are allowed to use our ideas if you want to.
Make
Just credit
episodes
us
about this
or something.
idea.
Please make a movie about it. I want to see what you guys can do with this idea. A rewritten Misty Island Rescue.
I still can't laugh about the cranky Carly thing I just said.
Okay, stop. Just stop. Okay, so Ferdinand, in conclusion, is not a bad character. He has potential to be great, and I mean, I guess you could say that with all characters, but like Ferdinand's a special case because he's really hated in the fandom.
Examples of like not or examples of Ferdinand being the special case, or I mean other engines that are like Ferdinand that aren't as like interesting would be
Charlie, because
yeah, Carly.
his only main stake is him being a jokester. That's it.
And same thing
That's
with
his only
Billy.
character.
A lot of things um that Unlucky Tug has mentioned is you can tell that especially Rosie and like I mean Rosie did have a lot of character development throughout the show, but Rosie was like definitely designed for toys to sell because she's pink. Like if you have Thomas the blue engine, Rosie the pink engine,
Yeah,
and the
I mean
same
they
thing with
fixed it
Billy, like
later on. They fixed it later on,
you
but
need
like
this. You also need the go back to Walmart and
it
get the orange train named Billy.
it's like it proves that like characters can be changed to be good for the greater good.
But
Because
yeah, in the
Rosie was
beginning,
originally a bad character
it's
until
obvious that Rosie and Billy were marketing tactics. Probably the same thing with Charlie because he's like a purple engine, and you don't see a lot of purple
they
engines.
made him a brand new engine just so they could make more toys selling both of them at the same
That's what
time.
they did with characters from season 9 pretty much onwards.
That's also what they did to Splatter, Dodge, and Dennis, basically, because they turned Splatter, Dodge, and Dennis into Sydney, Paxton, and Norman, which are all good characters in my opinion. Like, yes, I like how Sydney's forgetful. That's a nice character. Uh, that's a nice character trait. Paxton has a good relationship with the narrow gauge engines and is very nice, which is a nice contrast to Diesel, who is the opposite of that. But Norman is a different case, I think. We need to
I
talk
don't
about we need to talk about Norman one day.
with them that could be a future episode.
That could be.
An idea or something I wanted to mention is what I just said about Billy, or Rosie and Billy, how they're like made for toys. Obviously, that was I took that from the Unlucky Tugs season 10 and 11 retrospective uh
Okay.
episodes videos.
Um do you
Go
think
check it out
Do you
too.
think
That's very
Ferdinand was made do you think Ferdinand was made for toys cuz Bash and Dash are
no,
just like a copy and paste and recolor. Ferdinand's like its own feature design. They could have just like duplicated them again if they wanted
but
to.
Ferdinand, I love his color, but it's kind of a duller color because
Exactly.
obviously
They
pink,
weren't trying to make him colorful like the others. They
but
were
like
trying to go with a lighter
blue,
color.
blue, pink, and orange are very like attention drawing colors.
I mean, yeah, it's true, but at least it's not like a very bright blue. It's like a nice soft blue. It's like not as bright as Gordon's, but it's also like it's not as bright as Gordon's, and it's also not as like dull as like I guess like I don't know. I can't think of a character that has a dull color. But like what I'm trying to say is that
Mhm.
they trying with a more subtle color for Ferdinand. I kind of liked him being blue. I kind of prefer that. Like honestly, I think that was the best decision than him being red or something or black and. I mean, I could see him being black and gray. I guess
That would be sick. Not
that
gonna
would
lie.
be really cool. Like his original design and basis.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. But
Sorry, I
like,
just spilled some water everywhere.
but I think he would look good in blue because Northwestern colors. Maybe he was found in black and gray, but was turned blue by the Northwestern Railway. That's
If
actually a good idea.
it's kind of like Oliver.
Yeah, like Oliver, but except he's kept his Great Western livery.
I'm stupid. Obviously, they like spray painted Oliver Brown for his scrap.
Oh.
I'm stupid.
Anyway,
Thinking of Oliver being originally brown, I do not know why.
I prefer Railway Series colors. What would Ferdinand look like in the Railway Series? Would he work in Railway Series standpoint? Sorta.
Probably not, because there was not really any American engines in the Railway series.
And Henry's Forest doesn't exist in the Railway Series because Audrey doesn't like a train liking trees.
Well, then why does a train like fucking fish?
I like fish, said Arthur. But I think that's our reasoning for why we think Ferdinand's a good character. He's not he's not like the best character at all by any means, but he's a character that we can all like start to enjoy.
Yes. Not the road is gone.
Like I wouldn't mind seeing Ferdinand in more fan content as long as they like put
Yeah,
him
that's
as
a
a good
good
character.
like.
Because I saw like I mostly got inspired to make this video by Sammy Clark himself because he made those like Super Rescue but with Ferdinand. That would actually work, honestly. Ferdinand and Super Rescue would be like amazing.
I could definitely like see picture that.
I I would love to like someone make an actual like not like a funny episode of it like Sammy Clark did, but more like a actual like serious episode of it. But Ferdinand,
Wait, did
I
Sammy
think
Clark make like a silly parody thing?
uh he brought the logging locos back, but made them tried to make them more likable. Anyway, I think that in conclusion that we should. That's why. In conclusion, Ferdinand isn't that bad. Sorry, I was trying to
Or
find the
not?
right
He's
words.
not bad. He's not really bad at all, to be honest.
I think we've
The only
fleshed him out
aspect of
enough
him
to
that
be
keeps
good.
going is like the "that's right,"
He could
and I
still
think
have that.
the main
He could still have that catchphrase, just not say it every 10 minutes.
I think another reason why people just kind of like don't pay attention to him as much is because they always like group him with Bash and Dash as being like the bad characters.
Oh, I forgot to bring this up in the Gordon and Ferdinand thing. They found Ferdinand interesting and cheered for him because they never seen him before, and he's an American type locomotive. So they find it really cool to see it in the UK. That Gordon and Ferdinand would actually work still, even if it wasn't nitrogen. Like it would still work. Like rewrite it a little bit, and boom, it's a good episode. You know, Gordon and the
What
Gordon,
your mic cut out? What did
Gordon
you say?
and the so so would Ferdinand then become like because Ferdinand is only called Ferdinand, but what if Ferdinand became Ferdinand the Forest Engine?
Hmm, interesting. Because
I
there's
lo-
two F's: Ferdinand and the Forest Engine.
it's kind of like Wilbert the Forest Engine. Honestly, I don't know why he's called the Forest Engine. Was he? Wait, was it Wilbert the Forest Engine?
I think he wasn't
I forgot. It's kind of wrong though to me. I do not like the idea of it being Wilbert the Forest Engine because he was only seen once. So, like,
he? It was
also,
Wilbur the Forest Engine.
what happened to the actual real life Wilbert?
Bill and Ben came to life.
seriously, what happened to the real life Wilbert?
Who knows?
Like, didn't it get put in storage for a bit? Like, didn't the railway it was on go
Wait.
bankrupt?
You know that like famous image from the Railway series where like the engines are like in the scrapyard?
Yeah.
What if one of them's Wilbert?
No, Wilbert is not dead. He's not dead. Wait, is the real life Wilbert dead?
Wilbert the Force. We're getting really off topic.
Yes, but like
We're
there's
kind of
really
done with
not much to
talking about
talk about right
Ferdinand.
anymore.
So is that it?
I think. Let me.
Well,
I'm looking up. Did Wilbert the Forest engine get scrapped?
if this is the end, I'll go and say our next episode's planning to be
Oh
one.
no, no, no! They did scrap the real life Wilbert.
They did.
They did.
Hmm. Anyway,
Oh
our next episode plan is going to be about season 12
yes.
and the interesting aspects of it and if it
Like
could be
why
better.
it's not the worst hit era season. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Because like we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of it.
Kind of like what we did here.
Yes, because there are some bad things we don't like about Ferdinand, but there are a lot of good things that we do like about him as well. So I think that wraps up today's podcast. Um,
We
like
don't know how often we'll be doing these episodes.
like it could be like over a few months, it could be over a few weeks, could be like the next day. Who knows?
We'll have to see.
Anyway, I think that's about it for the podcast. So
We'll see you in the next
we'll
one if
see you
you
in the next
enjoyed
one.
this one.
If you
Also,
enjoyed this one,
subscribe.
just
This will be uploaded on his channel. Subscribe to my channel as well.
yes, subscribe to him. All right, and that's the podcast. All right, here, bye, bye, y'all.